ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. And we welcome you to Spokane. Frigid temperatures, and they waited overnight outside and camped out to get into the Spokane arena. And now this place is absolutely rocking. This is an ESPN Sonic Blockbuster. Kentucky taking on Gonzaga. We got two of the top programs in the country. John Shambi, Jimmy Dykes. What a matchup down low, Jimmy Dykes. Oscar Tshiebwe and Drew Timme. That is a great matchup we got.
Yeah, absolutely. Two guys are in that running for the National Player of the Year. You've got two teams right now, Boog, that got knocked in the nose earlier this week. Both these clubs, Kentucky, Gonzaga, have their sights set on a Final Four, if not a national championship run. Because of the losses this week by Kentucky and Gonzaga, I expect a massive effort by both ball clubs in an arena that is absolutely off the charts.
Gonzaga has not played a home game here, or I should say, has not played a game here since 2014 against Washington State. They have a 68-game home win streak. This will not be part of that streak, regardless of what happens. So, playing here at Spokane Arena, just about 5 minutes from campus, but to be sure, it feels like a home game for the Zags.
Yeah, about a 7-minute drive and a 15-20-minute walk for the students. They were camping out early this morning since last night for this one.
And now our tip for the Southwestern matchup, Kentucky and Gonzaga. And Kentucky controls. Each of these teams losing this past week. For Kentucky in the Champions Classic against Michigan State in double overtime. Gonzaga blasted on the road in Austin against Texas. It flips out. And a shot off the mark for Wallace. Here come the Zags. All right, let's check out our starting lineups. They're brought to you by Dove Men Plus Care. Strother, Hickman, Bolton, Timme, and Watson.
Kentucky makes a mistake early going underneath the screen on a 40+% three-point shooter.
Strother blocks the Frederick shot. Strother the other way. And a foul on the floor as they get Sahvir Wheeler. David Hall on the call, so the first on the point guard. And there is Mark Few, 24th season as Gonzaga head coach. They've been to the NCAA tournament every year that they've held it, that he's been there.
Well, it's an amazing streak that he's on right now. 7 straight Sweet 16s. Only North Carolina, Duke, and UCLA have been able to accomplish that as programs. That's the level that Gonzaga has risen to under Mark Few.
They'd only been to the NCAA tournament twice in the history of the program before he took over. And they get the foul on the floor, and Coach Calipari unhappy there with Michael Greenstein. The foul on Jacob Toppin.
Yeah, Cal felt like that Timme had that left hook, which he spins baseline on, as well as anyone in the country working for him.
Strother at three.
It's too easy. That is absolutely too easy to start the ball game for Kentucky's baseline out-of-bounds defense. It cost him earlier this week, and it just cost him 3 to start this game.
Tshiebwe, the guy to look for as he comes out high to set a screen. Wheeler on the move. Back to Tshiebwe. Loose ball, Watson pulls it down.
Good job of not giving Tshiebwe an angle to get to the front of the rim.
And a good job, Tshiebwe, who can run the floor, gets back and intercepts the pass. Wheeler almost lost the handle, flips it up, Timme rebounds.
Man, bad shots in this game are a bad deal because the run game gets ignited for both clubs.
Out of bounds, it'll go the other way, Kentucky basketball.
To start the ball game, look what, just a simple out of bounds play for Julian Strother to run from the weak side to the top of the key. Again, you cannot go under shooters in this game if you're Kentucky.
This is a Wildcat team that is super talented, and plus they make the top recruiting class in the country for next year. Wheeler not able to answer. Timme pulls it down.
That's the shot early that Gonzaga wants Kentucky to take. Sahvir Wheeler with an early 3.
Timme flips it up, and it rolls in.
He's got the total package Boog. He's got the floater game. He's got the 15-foot pull-up. He can short roll and finish, and he can short roll at the rim.
And Shibwe gets Kentucky on the board. So it's 2 here in the early going.
Interesting, Watson has started on Shibwe, not Drew Timme.
Jimmy lost the handle. It's a turnover. And now Wheeler and Kentucky the other way. Toppin was looking for Frederick. Now Toppin just beyond the free throw line. That wouldn't go. Rebound Strother.
It has been one and done for Kentucky to start this game. Gang rebounding by the guys in white.
Timmy eyeing up. Goes to the basket and throws it down.
You cannot cover single coverage on Drew Timme on the left block area. That is his sweet spot, his honey hole. Kentucky failing to come with a double team to start the game.
Toppin here, flips inside, going to help is Bolton, and then saves it to Timme, but
Drew Timme, this is his spot. And he is so patient to survey the play, and Shibwe with a little bit of a hand help and a hand double. That's not going to stop anybody, especially a guy that's the potential national player of the year in Drew Timme. Too big, too strong, too quick.
Dad taking it in. Little ball fake, goes baseline, and draws the foul. So Jacob Toppin, the younger brother, of course, of Obi Toppin, transfer from Rhode Island. And will be playing for the Knicks, former National Player of the Year.
Toppin is a kid that's gone from a role player last year for Kentucky, projected to be an all-SEC type kid this year. Can he do it? That's a big step. And how do you judge growth of guys? I judge it. What do you do on the road in a tough building? That's exactly where John Calipari and his guys are tonight.
Yeah, big time test. This is a really talented, a really good Kentucky team, and a lot of room to grow. Substitution, and Antonio Reeves, the birthday boy, will sub in. Happy 22nd to him. Grabs a seat. Nolan Hickman, who's originally a Kentucky commit, brings it up for Gonzaga. That one taken away, Wallace.
Boy, his hand strength and his hand speed is phenomenal for a true freshman. Look out.
Good lob, finds Lance Ware for the throwdown.
Just a game-changing, momentum-changing play by Cason Wallace to get the rip on one end and the patience to throw the perfect lob pass on the other.
Watson kicks out Strother. Feed inside and a great seal and a great look. Watson with the deuce.
And a good start by Hickman. I know he's had a turnover, but he looks comfortable right now moving the ball. That's a very small window that he had to thread.
Ware kicks out, Reeves now. And a rebound pulled down by Strother. Gonzaga leading it by 6. Shabby Jimmy Dykes here at Spokane Arena. Good hands by Ware, but Bolton collects. Shot clock under 10. Hickman from deep. Tipped out, and Timme has it. Bolton. Out of bounds, it'll be Kentucky basketball when we return.
Well, Kentucky's freshman point guard has impacted the game early. Cason Wallace, again, he had 8 steals against Michigan State, just rips Hickman, and then comes right down and very patient, playing in the pro lane line slot, finds Lance Ware on the backside.
ESPN exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. It's the best place to get everything you need for the holidays. Gonzaga by 6. These two guys, good friends. How'd the matchup come about? You got to go back to August 2nd when Kentucky had their flood relief telethon.
He wants to schedule a game.
We were looking good, and then you just said, hey, you want to play? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good with playing.
What date are you talking about?
November 20th.
Will you come back here the following year, or are you just saying it's a one-game shot in Spokane?
We will absolutely come back. We've never played in Rupp Arena, and it would be awesome to get my team program into Rupp.
Pretty amazing. So here are the years and the spots next year at Rupp, then Seattle, then Nashville, back to Rupp, and then the final one of the series will be at the Kennel, as they call it, on campus, the McCarthy Center. This one, the first of 6. Pretty cool the way that came about.
Well, it's a massive win for college basketball is what it is. And those two guys have such respect for one another and such respect for each other's program. I mean, who would have thought when Mark Few took this thing over 23, 24 years ago that John Calipari would be the head coach of Kentucky and agreed to a 6-year agreement with Gonzaga? That's a monster statement that has been made in the scheduling of this ball game for the next 5 years after this.
Yeah, I mean, it's number 4 against number 2. So what this game is about is self-evident based on the rankings. But these are the two of the top programs in the country.
Oh, without a doubt.
There's Wallace now. Kick to the corner. Frederick can shoot it. A little short for the Iowa transfer. Might have been deflected. Kick up ahead. Timmy runs the floor.
That all started, though, with a recovery length of Julian Strother to get to that basketball in the far corner. Just ignites that run game by Drew Timme up top.
Wallace, the floater. Timmy, the rebound. Zags on the go. Timmy looking. Ware on Timmy. And that one knocked away. Zags have it back. Timmy puts it on the floor, and they get the foul.
Boog, I mentioned Julian Strother. Terrific offensive talent, developing as a defensive guy as well. I mean, he gets a piece of that basketball, which starts the run game, and Drew Timme just outruns a guy, Lance Ware, that can really run. And terrific soft pause by Timme as a 6'10" athlete out front.
But Timmy obviously had to contemplate whether he was going to leave school to try for the NBA, but Strother is a guy that's a decent NBA prospect. We'll see what the future holds for him. Malachi Smith has checked in, the transfer from Chattanooga. He was the SoCon Player of the Year, and now with the Zags. There he is with the basketball. Inside, trying to find some space. Puts it in.
Gonzaga just went to a 5-out offense, and Kentucky fell asleep on the backside of the play. Allowed 13 in white with a hard basket cut. Anything cool in this game will not work. You don't cut hard, you don't pass hard, you don't fight hard. Coolness will have your butt on the bench in this one.
Shibway's been held early. A little too strong. Timmy the rebound.
He's taking shots that aren't the normal Oscar Shibway shots.
Timmy wide open. Rebound Gonzaga. Strother a 3.
Bam.
A 9-0 run. Welcome back, and a reminder, Feast Week presented by Lowe's continues from the Battle of Atlantis tournament. It starts on Wednesday, noon Eastern on ESPN. NC State taking on Kansas, and then BYU, USC, Butler, and Tennessee. Jimmy, that's a good tournament. The announcers are going to be really good.
You and I are heading on a red eye tonight after this one. and in Nassau tomorrow about noon. So if my math is right, I will be sitting beside you if I'm on the plane with you as well in the first class, where you will be, most likely, if I can work my way up there. For the next 15 hours of my life, I'll be sitting right beside you.
It's about accurate. Reeves here from the elbow. Got it. Austin Reeves, the bucket.
He's a bucket getter is what he is.
Antonio Reeves, I beg your pardon.
I just got to turn a guy loose sometimes, Boog, and let him go make one, you know?
Antonio Reeves, who started his college career at Illinois State, mentioned it's his birthday today. And now Shibwe picks up the loose ball. And he gets fouled. Oscar Shibwe will go to the line, and he will shoot 2.
And Boog, that all started with Kentucky's ability to square him up on the defensive end of the floor. The hips never got open. They kept the ball square. They stayed low in a stance. Got a turnover and gets Kentucky's run game out and going.
Now remember, Shibwe missed the first couple of games. He was dealing with a little bit of a knee issue.
Here's what I'm talking about. Damian Collins is down in a stance, doesn't open up his hips. The ball pressure was hot, but the angles weren't given, or the fundamental stuff against a Gonzaga team that can really score. So important.
Shibwe so far with 3. I mentioned the knee issue. He had a minor procedure. I think they initially expected he'd be out about 6 weeks. It ended up being 4. Coach Cal was saying, you know, Oscar's kind of superhuman that way.
It's shocking the first 3 or 4 minutes when you're on the floor as a player, how he goes to the boards. There are a couple other things that are shocking in college basketball. Virginia's hard hedge defensively takes a while to adjust to. Houston's on ball, how angry they are defensively takes a while, and Shibwe on the glass.
Timmy misses the step back, and Kentucky a chance to chip away. Livingston, that was strong.
Not his shot. It's not his shot early in the shot clock. First side of the floor, didn't make the defense move.
Strother flips it up and in.
The bad shot bone is always connected to the bad transition defense bone. And that's exactly what happened to Kentucky in the last 15 seconds.
John Shelby, Jimmy Dykes, Spokane Arenas. Watson active with the hands, but Shibwe gets it back and gets fouled. The Zags with an 11-point advantage, 11-10 to go here. And when we come back, imagine Drew Timme in a Kentucky uniform. That's when we return. We'll explain. Back here in Spokane, Gonzaga by 11. Drew Timme twice has been a consensus All-America. Amazing that record over his career at 92-8. But we talked about going to Kentucky. So what was that about? He woke up to these tweets. If Drew Timme enters the portal, it's Kentucky. Just know that. And then it's Timme time in Lexington. Not really sure the genesis of it, but it took over Twitter. Now, he did become pretty good friends with Oscar Shibwe, as those two got a chance to connect at the Wooden Award, but this is what he woke up with. And then when we asked him about it today, he had a pretty good line. He's so used to being hated by opposing fan base. He said, you know, it was kind of nice that a fan base besides Gonzaga's would actually.
He was loved for the first time in his life as a college basketball player from someone other than the Gonzaga Nation. And I remember that morning myself, waking up and reading that, and I had to, you know, kind of go through the,
what did I miss?
The Twitter research and think, is this real or not? But yeah, those two guys have a very close friendship. They talk often.
Yep.
Their games are at another level, but they are built differently. And their games are different, and you have to defend them differently.
And Shibwe so strong. You're talking about that lower body, the speed. He's one of those quadzilla types, right? The strong legs.
Well, he's the best, not only rebounder that we've seen in the last 30 or 40 years, but he's the best below the rebounder that I've ever seen in college basketball. He's not getting stuff high off the glass. He just absolutely eats up space and owns his part of the floor better than anyone I've ever seen in the college game.
Pressure from Kentucky, and it leads to a turnover.
I like the change by Cal, trying to flip the game a little bit. and get their momentum going.
From way downtown, Antonio Reeves couldn't get it to go. Malachi Smith the other way. Strother calling for it, and the smaller player on him, and then shoots a ball.
You know what, though? A bad matchup is better than no matchup. So Wheeler got down there, fought his tail off. And
the foul, Wheeler will go to the line. So
does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And you got a transition defense. It's a sprinting, talking, pointing.
Go get somebody.
Matchup. Go get somebody game. A lot of times guys will look at you and say, that's not my guy. It doesn't matter. A bad matchup is better than no matchup, and Wheeler did a good job.
Crazy when you contemplate all the experience Kentucky has, and yet all their guys are eligible to come back. All right, how about some NFL? Returns to Mexico. Week 11 Monday Night Football from Estadio Azteca, Mexico City. The 49ers and Christian McCaffrey going up against the Cardinals in an NFC West matchup, 8 Eastern ESPN. ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Coverage begins Monday Night Countdown at 6. Kentucky within 8, 10:34 to go here. First half from Spokane Arena. John Chambee and Jimmy Dykes. The Zags and the Wildcats. Number 2 against number 4. Which team lost earlier this week? Hickman flips it up, it goes.
That's really well done by Hickman. Kentucky trying to ice the action, forcing him down that pro lane line, and took exactly what the defense gave him into a pull-up jumper.
Reeves, I thought he might have been trying to lob it for Shibwe, who gets the offensive rebound and then throws it down. Look out. That is powerful stuff from Oscar Shibwe.
He is so good, Oscar, at so many things. But one thing he does at an elite level, he gets his feet under his shoulders before he ever tries to go through traffic. The most powerful position he understands as a post player. Not a shot.
And a rebound and a put back there from Hunter Salas.
Yeah, if you don't want to rebound, you don't want to win. You know, you look up right now, Kentucky's being punked on the boards 15-5 in this game.
And a bump on Hickman, so the foul on the floor.
Boog, watch the power position that Shibwe gets in. He doesn't jump there, but he jumps there. See, the feet went from being spread apart to under his shoulders, and he understands how to get through arms and a lot of contact on top of him. Just a powerful, powerful young man.
So John Calipari there, one of the things he was bemoaning is the fact that his team hasn't practiced together that much.
Yeah.
Between injuries to Shibwe and Wheeler. Then Damian Collins unexpectedly losing his father, missing some time. So they haven't had a cohesive practice stretch to begin, and that's made it hard.
They have not, but you look at the pieces going forward and think, what team in the country would I want to coach the next 4 months? Kentucky's going to be really high on that list. I think C.J. Frederick and Antonio Reeves, they've got to knock down multiple threes in this game if Kentucky's going to have a chance. Can they get loose to see the rim is the question.
Gonzaga shooting 65% from the floor so far to start, and that has really been the thread of the Mark Few era. This team scores. They've led the nation in scoring each of the last 4 years. Shot clock winding down, and a turnover.
Really good defense by Kentucky because they got mismatched a couple of times. And they just fought their tails off. CJ fought his tail off in front of the rim as a post defender. That's how you get back on the road. You don't win games on the road. You win games on the glass, on the free throw line, and in the lane. Forget about where the game was. That's where you win ball games.
Wheeler tosses Frederick. And now Wheeler, his jumper. Strother sails in for the board, and the Zags the other way. Captain Reed, the LSU transfer, and a travel. So a turnover on Gonzaga.
Just playing drop coverage off the ball on Reed. I mean, there was no ball pressure. He's trying to feed the post. Sheboy just backed off and kind of guarded that low post guy with a man and a half, and Efton Reed just dribbles into a turnover.
7-footer will grab a seed. Severe Wheeler, whose season has gotten off to a good start since he got healthy, averaging just a shade under 10 assists a game. Does not have one here today. Lob. Sheboy, the putback wouldn't go. Loose ball. And Gonzaga comes away with it. It's Salas up to Hickman. And they get a foul.
But Timmy runs so hard, he's forcing Wheeler to be the primary defender in that early transition offense. One question you always ask is, who's the MIG, the most important guy? Well, for Gonzaga, it's Drew Timme. No help defense comes, no double team. That's just easy money for two in white. He will chew you up if you continue with that kind of defense. What does he do defensively on the other end? The shot goes, bam. Hits first, make sure we secure the rebound. Now watch right there. He's got another gear now, almost like a guard. When he shifted gear and got a little bit of separation on Lance Ware, that was some special stuff. But who's the MIG? There they are. For Kentucky, the most important guy is Oscar Sheboy. For Gonzaga, it's Drew Timme.
Sheboy, the reigning player of the year. Timme certainly a candidate last year and again this year. For Kentucky, the issue has been at the offensive end, shooting just 4 for 22, 18%. Gonzaga to inbound. Hickman looking for some help and gets it into Watson. Bolton flips it up. That'll go. Rasir Bolton started his career at Penn State, then Iowa State, and now a Zag. As Reeves not able to hit, Antonio tried to spin that one off the glass, wouldn't go. Bolt wide open. He normally knocks that one down. Frederick, they'd love to see him get hot. Toppin backing down. Toppin, nice move, gets it to go. Jacob with two.
Hard-fought basket by Toppin, a tough two. Estrada did a good job of keeping square. Got his feet wide, stayed strong, made Toppin make a play through his chest.
Under 7 to go here in our first half from Spokane Arena. Wallace reaching in and is charged with the foul.
What I'm talking about with Jacob Toppin, I mean, this is the definition of a tough two. Bounce it, boom, through his chest. Gets his chin up, his eyes up, and that's good defense by Strother. Just a little better offense by Toppin.
Hickman. Shot clock under 10. Gonzaga leading it by 10. And good hands there by Cason Wallace. 4 on the shot clock.
For Kentucky, you don't want to foul, and you have to be aware of this inbounds pass going right inside to Timme. And Cason Wallace has backed off to kind of help that pass directly to Timme.
And he catches, spins, step back, and that's short. Livingston ahead to Wallace. And now a feed to Sheboy with Timme on it. And Sheboy reverses it. Well done.
No help. It looked like Timme was expecting baseline help to come on the double team. And nowhere in existence.
Timme, wow. Oh, wow. That's a move right there.
That is special. In the middle third of the floor, there's not a better postman in college basketball than Drew Timme.
Sheboy lost the handle, zags the other way. Watson going to work, off the glass and good. serpent, little pull up. And Strother comes away with it.
The quality of my shot versus the quality of your shot is the simple part of basketball, and Gonzaga is absolutely winning that part of this game.
Sheboy rebounds the Strother miss as Kentucky into the front court. Wallace puts it on the floor, wide open lane to the basket.
Yeah, he's a special kid, Cason Wallace is. They call him Queso. And he does so many things. Kentucky looks a little tired right now with under 5 to go.
Timmy off the glass and then flexes.
I just don't see the energy of Kentucky that I expected coming off of a loss earlier this week. And that play right there now, you score on one end and within 5 seconds the other team's got the ball at the rim on you. That's on you, Kentucky, in this game.
Sheboy with Watson on him. That one knocked away. And then Frederick with the kick. 4:25 to go, and the lead is a dozen.
If you don't fight, you have no chance in a big-time game. And Drew Timme in the middle third of the floor, such a playmaker that you run your offense through, and he's a spin machine that is on balance. He's got the floater game, a little bit of flex, a little bit of a message to Oscar Sheboy, who was flexing against Michigan State, and Cal called him on it. I'm not sure if you said start a college basketball team, who's your first pick? I'm taking Drew Timme. There's some great ones out there, but I'm starting with him.
Loose ball, Strother hangs and gets hit, and he'll go to the line.
Boog, I believe that's the 21st rebound in this game for Gonzaga. Kentucky has 9.
Now Strother has 9 all by himself.
Yeah.
Sheboy taking a seat.
I said it earlier.
Strother's put together a really nice first half.
He's really talented. His game is getting better and better every time I watch him on film. Always been a silky smooth shooter, got long length. We've already seen his defensive impact. Gonzaga's playing fast and clean on the offensive end. Their passes are fast and their cuts are fast.
Frederick can't get it to fall. Watson gets it ahead, now Strother. Strother aggressively at the basket, little bit strong. Lob up ahead. Greg able to save it, and back and forth we go.
How about Gonzaga's ability and commitment to run to the defensive end against Kentucky in this game? Man, that is some beautiful stuff that a coach will love on film.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the new Sonic 2 for $5 menu for a limited time only at Sonic.
Or defensively, Jimmy Dykes?
All right, Jimmy Dykes, how about time for our Wendy's Wooden Watch, and tell me about some guys who are hard to guard.
Well, it's going to be a phenomenal race this year. These are just some of the guys early. Certainly Oscar and Drew. Armando Bacot had 23 rebounds today for North Carolina. Hunter Dickinson's very capable of jumping up in that race. Marcus Sasser, Jalen Wilson from Kansas has jumped out there early to start this year. We'll see him next week in Atlantis, but that's going to be a great race all season long. And you know, Oscar ran away with it last year, but there's nothing guaranteed from one year to the next. Just because you're older does not make you better. You've got to get better with work and effort and attitude and all those things. And guys in the studio are right. Kentucky right now disappointing in terms of just the fight level that they've brought so far in this game. It can change, but so far, not what you expected.
So here's Nolan Hickman, Seattle kid. And one of the guys who'll be handling the ball is Andrew Nembhard, off to the NBA and making an impact with the Pacers.
When you lose Nembhard and Suggs in back-to-back years, and now Hickman, is in charge of maneuvering Gonzaga through the toughest non-conference schedule that Mark Few's ever played. That's a lot on number 11 in white.
Frederick trying to turn the corner, kicks over.
Walk.
Turnover number 4 on Kentucky. Gonzaga leading it by 16. We're at Spokane Arena. Zags haven't played a game here since 2014. That was against Washington State, so it's been a while. Greg working down low, bodied up, and draws the foul. Ben Gregg, the sophomore from Oregon. 37 total career games for Greg. Played 17 games last year.
Well, you had Greg taking a hard, tough shot. It really drives you nuts as a coach to foul bad shots. I mean, Greg was taking one off balance, leaning. Not an offensive threat. You bail him out.
Sheboy will check back in, so we'll top it.
Mark Few has ran stuff for Timmy in this game, Boog, that can't be trapped. As you know, the trap's coming. Kentucky hasn't done it like they're supposed to. But what he has done is he's ran offense that can't be trapped by keeping Timmy in that middle third of the floor.
Clock did not start, and so Michael Greenstein blew the whistle, said hang on just a second. Gonzaga in the middle of an 8-0 run, but you know, you're mentioning what Mark Few likes to run for Timmy, who's as versatile an offensive big as there is in the game right now, and that footwork, the post moves, and Mark Few takes advantage of it.
And Drew Timmy's speed is vastly, vastly underrated in terms of the speed of his move, the speed of his shoulders and hips.
Sheboy, offensive rebound, put back wouldn't go, and he's frustrated that he didn't get the and one. Instead, he'll go to the line.
Gonzaga putting a lot of bodies on Oscar Sheboy. Now he's powering his way through those bodies, but Mark Few was very clear with his guys yesterday. We're going to hit Sheboy for 2 hours tomorrow night, and he's going to get some. We're darn sure going to make him work for what he gets. So far, so good.
Sheboy playing in just his 3rd game.
Mark Few
today his first start.
Few has that soft demeanor, great balance to his life as a head coach in terms of where he keeps things in line. But man, that is a competitive dude. He and Scott Drew dominated the pickleball, right? At the COVID Final Four.
Yep. Yeah, they were partners. Watson.
Wham!
Oh! The kid from Spokane who went to Gonzaga Prep, and the fans delighted with that throwdown. Sheboy spinning, puts it in.
And John Calipari now running offense for Oscar Sheboy in that middle third of the floor too, to keep that trap off of him. Just a breakdown last time for Kentucky defensively.
Smith hesitates, Sheboy grabs it, and here comes Kentucky.
Mark Few not happy with that last shot selection.
Reeves launches off the Frederick feed. And they'll get Hickman on the foul as he had his hands on Antonio Reeves.
Watch Kentucky right here. It's a dribble handoff action, and Kentucky gets confused. Are we switching? Are we sticking? Toppin thinks we're switching, and Reeves thinks that we're not. And all of a sudden, it's just straight down that pro lane.
Reeves in and out as he misses the front end. Closing in on 90 seconds to go here, first half. And from Spokane Arena, Gonzaga enjoying a 16-point advantage. Greg from deep. And another rebound for Sheboy.
Where's Cal? Going to start off as a screener, but at some point is going to end up in front of the rim. Yeah, good ball pressure by Julian Strother. Strother may be one of the better defensive halves that he's had so far as a Zag. He keeps C.J. Frederick squared up, and C.J. dances with that basketball, and Strother gets his hand down low. Really well done by Julian Strother.
Timmy's gotten a chance to get a real nice rest here. Frederick, and out of bounds. They say off of Strother. It'll be Kentucky basketball. And the student section did not like that call.
Yeah, Kentucky's got a chance to get a quick one here. They're down 41-25. They can get a basket to stop, and a basket would be a huge momentum. 50 seconds for Kentucky.
Stepping in is Watson, right into that passing lane.
And Toppin just stared it down. He told the entire building where he was going to go with the ball.
Timeout Gonzaga. Shot clock to game clock difference of a little over 8 seconds. All right, Feast Week presented by Lowe's continues from the Maui Jim Maui Invitational, and that one will start tomorrow on ESPN2 at 2:30 Eastern. Texas Tech and Creighton, number 20, and Arkansas, Ohio State, San Diego State, and Arizona and Cincinnati. Well, Jay Billis is working really hard along with Damian Fishback. It looks like they are stressed out.
Oh, man.
Really tough. And it's really difficult work when you know those sunglasses don't fit that well. And sure, I'll do another 94 feet. I mean, it's not like Shulman and Schifrin are busting their butts over there either. You know, they're poolside.
I will say this, other than Champ Week, Feast Week is the most important week in all of college basketball. Now, Champ Week, you got the automatic bids at stake, and I get it. But this 7 or 8 day stretch that we're on top of at ESPN, you've got significant shelf life wins. You're trying to establish your team as a group that can be a number 1 seed or a 2 seed. You've got to win meaningful games this week. That's what's going on in Maui and Atlantis, and right here tonight on what they see as a neutral floor that is anything but a neutral floor.
Yeah, that's right. Timmy with Sheboy on him. And now Bolton, shot clock is under 10. Shot clock winding down. Timmy, step back, short. And a shot clock violation, and with 8.1 to go, it'll be Kentucky basketball as they are down by 16. I have to think Mark Few's got to be pretty happy with what his team has done in the first half.
Yeah, he is. He's going to take Timmy out now to make sure he doesn't pick up another foul before the half. Kentucky, really good job of forcing Timmy off the block in that short clock situation. Now Kentucky with 8 to work with. This basket will be much more important than the actual points they put on, just for some momentum. They may not even get it off.
Toppin, that's a 3. In and out. And the first half comes to a close. Number 2 up big on number 4. Gonzaga leading it 41-25. And Kentucky, they lost their last 6. And trailing by double figures at the half.
The speed that Gonzaga's playing with has knocked Kentucky back. Big adjustment coming up in the second half.
Let's send it to the studio, Kevin Connors.
All right,
high.
Kevin Connors.
They're averaging 17.
So we get ready for second half action. John Chumby and Jimmy Dykes. What really jumped out at you in the first half, and were you surprised?
I think the speed that Gonzaga plays with has surprised me and knocked Kentucky back, to be honest with you, Boog. Now, Gonzaga has 10 turnovers in the first half. They're averaging 17. That's too many. But, man, that powerful energy that's in this building has fed this Gonzaga team to a big lead. Now, what's Kentucky going to do in this next 2 or 3 minutes to start this half to try to flip the game? Have been stars for Gonzaga through Timmy. With 10 points, Strother has been tremendous. Also, as a two-way player on the defensive end, Kentucky cannot shoot the ball from 3. You look at the numbers right now between C.J. Frederick and Antonio Reeves. They are 1 for 11 combined shooting the basketball. And Kentucky cannot win games if Reeves and Frederick continue to struggle.
And now we're ready for the second half of our Sonic blockbuster matchup. Yeah, Kentucky 0 for 10 from 3. And that's going to have to change if the Wildcats are going to get back into it. Bolton turns the corner, flips it up off the glass and in. Rasir Bolton.
Well, that's a really easy look to start the half for Gonzaga. Just a simple lane drive down the right side with a strong hand for Bolton.
Wheeler from the corner. And Strother with another rebound, and that's number 10.
Wrong guy, taking the wrong shot early for Kentucky to start the half.
Watson goes baseline. Frederick up ahead. And good hands by Watson as he knocks it out of bounds. Just getting going here in the second half from Spokane Arena. John Chumby and Jimmy Dykes. All Zags in that first half.
Points in the first half, but they were hard-earned points. He did draw 3 fouls. He made all 6 of his free throws. But a lot of white jerseys and a lot of bodies banging on 34 in blue.
Watson rebounds the top and miss. And Bolton. Timmy with good post position. And they get Timmy with the travel.
You know, 2 good defensive plays by Oscar to start the half against Timmy. And keeping his shoulder squared up, not allowing Timmy to get an angle.
I mentioned those 2 guys have developed a bit of a friendship. Frederick slips down. They played a minor league hockey game here last night and had to turn the arena around pretty quickly. So far, most of the players have been able to maintain footing. Shot clock under 10, and Frederick buries one. That's the first 3 of the game for Kentucky. 1-12.
See the response by Cal? Oh, wow. I understand from a coaching standpoint when you finally throw one in, the jubilation.
Turned over, Kentucky back the other way. Toppin from Wheeler. And the putback.
That's now 16 for Oscar. That is when he's at his best, man. He gets to the front of the rim and then finds the ball no matter what side it goes to. Does everything with 2 hands in traffic.
Timmy on the floor, puts it up and in. Well, there he is, and one. Drew Timmy, he'll go to the line. One-on-one, Jimmy, he is a handful.
Yeah, hard to guard. I mean, he drives down that pro lane line. His ability to stop, bam, right there and pivot quickly, so impressive for a kid his size. That's one thing about basketball, man. How well can you stop is vastly underrated. He's got a push and a stop into a spin, unguardable.
He's one of those guys that's get an opportunity to make some money with those NIL deals. Dollar Shave Club, that's one of his, which is funny for the big beard.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Inside Wheeler and one.
Kentucky,
Well, they needed that.
Kentucky won the elbow on that play, Boog. And you win the elbow, you normally win the possession. Right here, bam. Severe Wheeler drives that ball just outside the elbow through the nail, and you win those two spots on the floor with the basketball. Good things happen to you.
Malachi Smith will check back in. Hickman will grab a seat, and the Georgia transfer, Severe Wheeler, converts the three-point play. And the lead down to a dozen. Hickman with 3 fouls. We'll monitor that as he grabs a seat. Timmy. And they get a foul on Chibwe, and that'll be his 3rd.
That's really smart early offense, though, by Gonzaga. I mean, Chibwe struggled last year with a guy named John Fulkerson from Tennessee in those middle drives. He has a bad habit of putting his hands on folks, and that's exactly what he did on that last play. Picks up his 3rd foul, and that's a big one this early in the second half. You got to go out and bear hug Timmy and just back up with him instead of putting hands on.
Toppin able to save it. Here come the Wildcats. And the block there. Go possession arrow. It'll stay with Kentucky. That was Watson that stuffed that.
A handful of times each game, you've got to win your one-on-one matchup. And that time, Anton Watson won the one-on-one match.
The neck ball, as Rap might say somewhere.
Offense looks different without Oscar on the floor, though, right?
Good feed inside as Wheeler able to find his man, and Severe Wheeler with the dish, and now he picks up the foul.
Kentucky will go 5 out with Oscar on the bench, with Lance Ware up top. The ability to run the offense through him just a little bit. And now you got some cutting action along the baseline. And foul trouble for Severe Wheeler and Oscar Chibwe. Your 2 studs to start the year are on the bench with 16 to go.
Bolton with a hesitation and then hangs and hits. Roger Bolton, that is a nice move. Frederick jumper. And Strother has it. He's been all over the place. 11 rebounds now for Strother. Timmy not able to save it, and out of bounds. And Kentucky basketball when we return. Gonzaga by a dozen. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Sonic Steak Butter Bacon Cheeseburger, for a limited time only at Sonic. ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. And it's all part of an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Kentucky and Gonzaga here in Spokane from Spokane Arena. And we take a look at tonight's Sonic blockbuster feature. Chibwe and Timmy. What's been your take so far, Jimmy Dykes?
Well, neither guy's afraid when it gets hard, because it's been hard on both these guys. The bodies that have been thrown at them, different spots on the floor. Timmy has found his hot spot, which is in the middle third as a middle driver playmaker. Chibwe's hot closer to the rim, but Chibwe with foul trouble right now. And a chance for Gonzaga to capitalize on it. It feels like Kentucky has adjusted in the second half to the speed that Gonzaga played with in the first 20 minutes. Can they sustain it? Is now the question.
And for Coach Cal, going to knock down some 3 balls Just 1 for 14 from the three-point line. That has been a problem.
Yeah, they can't get clean looks. No, that's a pretty long Gonzaga team overall. I've been very impressed with Strother's ability to chase C.J. Frederick. He's basically guarding himself. Shooters know how to guard shooters, and that's what Strother has done in this game against C.J. Frederick.
Wallace, unimpeded, misses with the left hand. Timmy the rebound, and a foul on Kentucky.
Make your layups, make your free throws. I don't care if it's third-grade basketball or the NBA. Make your layups, make your free throws. You win more than you lose.
Shibwe back onto the floor. Malachi Smith to inbound. Gonzaga by a dozen.
The press bothered Gonzaga in the first 3 or 4 minutes of this game once or twice. Since then, they've calmed down. They haven't gotten a rush. They've spread the floor out and taken away the run and jump ability of that Kentucky full court pressure.
Timmy gives off Bolt. Shot clock under 10. Timmy with deep position. And it knocked away and a turnover.
Yeah, he opened up and pivoted right into the arms of Shibwe.
And a nice move on the baseline there by Antonio Reeves. Bolt,
Pretty quick. Pretty quick when you're up 10 and you feel the momentum in the building starting to slide a little.
Frederick left hand. Shibwe, offensive rebound and a two-hand stub.
Mark Few has seen enough.
Timeout Gonzaga, the lead down to 8.
Well, Oscar Shibwe now having a major impact in this game. He lives at the front of the rim. Knocks people out of the way. He bowls as much as he plays basketball.
Life balance as a head coach. You get away and you take your sons to Alaska, right?
Yeah, I've taken each of my sons when they hit 14 to Alaska.
You're catching fish, but you're also dodging bears.
Yes. So we go to this really, really cool river that's just loaded with big, huge, Alaskan brown, basically coastal bears. They're like our grizzlies. There's so many salmon in the water. They don't even give us humans the time of day. And you can literally, you're out there catching fish and right next to them. It's just an awesome experience to go through with your kids and to show them.
So you took this picture while you were fishing?
Absolutely, just right there. I'm actually fishing and kind of mad that he's in my run.
Mark Few, a winner on the court, a winner in the river.
A winner in the river indeed, and he's fishing and dodging bears.
It's amazing. He's actually fishing, and about 25 feet from him is a bear with his head down looking for salmon. I mean, I don't trust a bear any more than I trust a skinny cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you. And who are you talking to? And the walrus is here.
I love the life balance, though, that Huey has. And he's a guy that gets it, and everybody in ball knows I'm speaking the truth on that one. What a fight back by Kentucky, right? Really good ball pressure to take away that entry pass to Timmy.
Good pocket pass, and Timmy not able to convert.
Kentucky playing 4-on-5 because C.J. Frederick blew out his shoe just now in the action.
Frederick's shoe is still not totally on.
No, it's not.
Shot clock under 5, and that one knocked down at a biggie by Cason Wallace. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-point game. Timmy gets the step in the bucket.
That's Gonzaga's best offense right now, is finding Timmy as a trailer, and he's in downhill mode on the catch, really putting Oscar Shibwe in a bind.
And Reeves drills one from deep. And now a 4-point game. 13 minutes to go. And a good one here in Spokane.
Boy, great teams fix the problem within the game. They don't wait till the next day or the next film session. And Kentucky has fixed their fight and their energy and their toughness and really their confidence to start this.
I believe they just got Shibwe with his 4th. Yep.
Watch Shibwe. He's halfway switches out and halfway doesn't. Gets in no man land. And Julian Strother, that off the bounce game has really developed from last year to this year. He's stronger, he's tougher, and he is exceptional with that right paw going downhill.
Lance Ware will check in. Shibwe will sit. We'll see for how long. 4 fouls, 18 and 13. Another double-double for Shibwe. What else is new?
Let's see what Cal goes to. Oscar's on the bench. Normally this is a 5-out offense. Now there's Lance Ware up top. They're going to keep that middle of the part of the floor open for drives and back cuts.
Redrick, a wide open look. Top and rebounds it.
And the ones you got to make in a game like this, right?
Timmy rebounds the miss. Strother, a little bit strong. Kentucky back the other way.
C.J. Frederick cannot shake loose in transition in this game. Running step for step with number 1 in blue.
Hickman with the good hands. And now Toppin, corner 3. Loose ball and it ends up with Frederick. Reeves will try. And Watson pulls down the rebound. Under 12 to go here, second half.
Cal felt like his guy got held on the missed shot for the rebound attempt. It's a driving game right now for Drew Timme. Mark Few knows this game has really tightened up. So again, who's your MIG? Who's your most important guy? It's Drew Timme, and Mark Few knows it.
Six-point game. They were just looking at a replay. And with Drew Timme going hard to the rack, I think they were eyeing up this potential elbow.
Well, as Timme brings that ball through, to me that's a basketball play. He doesn't have the elbows out. He's got him straight up and down as he rips that ball from one side to the other. Just unfortunate contact. Now, could you say that's an F1, excessive, unnecessary? What they're looking at right now. I think that's a basketball play. Just unfortunate for Lance Ware to catch the blow of it because Timme comes through awfully strong. Clips Lance Ware right in the chin. I could see this being escalated to an F1 on Timme. And how does David Hall and the guys look at it?
It's David Hall on the right. Frank Harvey in the middle. Michael Greenstein on the left. You can see Cal saying elbow. Let's see what they've decided.
Boog, I think because his elbows were under the ball,
right,
it's not going to be on Drew Timme. That's just how I interpret that play. Sometimes some hard contact occurs. You can never judge the intent. That's not going to be anything. I know they did the right thing by looking at it.
Yeah.
But that's not an F1 on Timme, and we play on.
John Calipari's team going in the first half in a pretty significant drought. Here in the second half, they played better. They've closed The Gonzaga lead to 6, but it's Timmy at the line. A reminder, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the fellas will break them down from top to bottom. Coaches' reactions, as well as a live interview with the committee chair, Lou Corrigan, the NC State athletic director. It's coming up 7 Eastern on ESPN.
The special teams of TCU yesterday, right? Run that field goal team out there and kick that thing for a game winner.
Wallace buries a 3. And now a 5-point game.
Kentucky did not make one 3-point shot. Big part of this game until the second half. They freed up and they've started shooting them with confidence.
And now 4 for their last 9. Timmy goes opposite, finds Bolton, who knocks it down. Rozier Bolton, that's part of his skill set, a guy that can knock down the 3.
And the pass by Timmy, because he threw about a 25-foot pass right on the numbers.
Toppin off the bounce. Jacob Toppin able to hit that shot. 56-50, 10:33 to go here, second half. Timmy, little hesitation. Absorbs some contact, left hand, and 1. And mom and dad getting the high fives.
Boog, I talked about in the first half, you run stuff that can't be trapped. And Mark Few has been right on point with his play calls for Drew Timme, because he is a driving, spinning, get you leaning and lunging offensive player. And he just works Lance Ware. Lance is screwing himself into the floor while Timmy's going up through the contact.
The freshman from Nigeria, Ugana Onyenso, has checked into the game for Coach Cal in Kentucky.
So now you're trying to put length on Drew Timme and just stay between he and the basket.
Timmy's got 5 since Shibwe went to the bench, but Toppin knocks down another shot.
It feels like John Calipari's trying to get to the next media timeout before Shibwe comes back in at that under 8 mark. That's just money. That is just money. You're not running anything for Gonzaga other than Drew Timme as a driver in the middle third of the floor.
Hickman thought he had gotten the charge. Instead, it's a block.
And Boog, it's quick hitting stuff by Mark Few for Drew Timme. They're using him in trail position and getting him on the fly. And see Severe Wheeler, Hickman, I don't know, he had pretty good legal guarding position, I thought. But you officiate the defense. Officials are taught to officiate the defense and read the play from the defensive jersey up.
Wheeler launches, hits.
Absolutely huge for a non-shooter on the road to step up and stick one in a tight game.
And now Toppin out on Timmy.
Cannot single coverage. What a cut, what a pass.
Bam! Oh, and the follow there by Watson. Gonzaga the lead back to 8. Wheeler had it stripped away. Now Strother, and then they get the foul on Wheeler.
I'm not sure what Wheeler saw, because he drove the ball right into built-in help. And Cal can't wait now for Oscar Shibwe at the under 8. He's got to come back in with 4 fouls. Watch Drew Timme, though. He can pick you apart as well as any big guy in the country. Surveys the play. The hard cut behind the defense is what initiates the offense by Hunter Salas, who lives at the rim as a hard cutter. He gets the ball up initially, and the value of getting the ball on the rim and the cleanup by Anton Watson, all triggered by Drew Timme.
And we were talking with Mark Few yesterday, and he was recognizing what a good passer Timme is, maybe as good a passer as they have And we mentioned a former Iowa State player is now in the NBA, George Niang.
Yeah,
he's got a similar type of game that he was comping him to.
That was a great call by you on that comparison, by the way. And you put Timmy in an NBA game, he's going to play his tail off the entire season. You can run offense through him, which fits the NBA right now at the 5. He will go down as one of the most popular Zags ever with Adam Morrison and Ronny Turioff. Those 3 guys have set the bar in terms of popularity and what it means to be a Zag.
Salas
Timmy,
draws the
Turioff,
charge.
and Adam Morrison.
Big turn of events right there. The lead is 10, and Gonzaga has the basketball. There's Adam Morrison, the former player of the year, 2006, and now the radio analyst for the Zags.
I've got a picture of him up in my office, and he said, hey, I saw you doing a game from home a couple of years ago, and I saw my picture of you interviewing me. And I said, that's one of my favorite memories, man. That kid just made Gonzaga cool.
Score the basket. Oh, and they're going to get the foul. So Gonzaga by a dozen.
That's a hard, purposeful cut. That's not a lazy cut. That's not a cool cut. That's a hard, purposeful cut by Strother. And the pass, man, was to perfection because a very small window.
Jimmy, I think one of the things when you look at this game going in and you think Oscar Tshiebwe for Kentucky, it's a little surprising, even with Drew Timme, a 38-22 points of the paint advantage for Gonzaga. And Toppin has found his stroke, another bucket, and he's got a dozen.
He has become an absolute star at that pull-up jump shot from 15. I talked about in the first half, Kentucky won the elbow again on that play. An easy elbow jump shot for 0 in blue.
Watson with Tshiebwe on him. Bolton from way downtown. Tshiebwe with another rebound. And a turnover, it'll be Gonzaga basketball. And Coach Calipari a little frustrated. Reeves pops out on Salas, double dribble.
Kentucky, good job, sorry, Boog, of icing that action, not letting that ball get reversed. And a turnover going into the under 8 timeout. Can Kentucky fight their way back in? They need a really good next 2 minutes.
Back in Spokane, Gonzaga leading by 11. A reminder, Feast Week presented by Lowe's continues. The Maui Gym, Maui Invitational, and quarterfinal action coming up tomorrow. Texas Tech, Creighton, that'll be a good one on ESPN2. Louisville, Arkansas, and then later on Ohio State, San Diego State, Cincinnati, and Arizona. But wait, there's more. Later in the week in Portland, 4 tournaments, men's and women's going on. 3 venues, 24 teams, 32 games. All on the ESPN family of networks, the Phil Knight Invitational and the Phil Knight Legacy. Mark Few's group will be out there. And between the PK Legacy and the Invitational, there's so much talent in Portland over the course of that stretch of basketball.
Yeah, celebrating Phil Knight's 85th birthday. You got a possibility of a Duke Gonzaga final on one side, and North Carolina could play Michigan State or Alabama in the other tournament.
Reeves not able to hit. Salas pulls it away. Salas at the basket and puts it in.
He has hyper speed in the open floor, does Salas.
Tshiebwe inside. Frederick, step back 3. He needed that one to go. The lead is 13.
Gonzaga has been so good, Boog, at recovering with quickness and speed and length. on C.J. Frederick. They've gotten on top of him as well, forcing him to one side, predetermining where they want him to run out the shots.
Strother turns it over. Kentucky basketball. And again, Sheboy with 4 fouls, so that bears watching. Here's that speed from Salas.
Watch this, just another gear starting. Boom, there, right there. And Casey Wallace can only step out of the way and let him go.
Yeah, Wallace able to get that one to go. Casey Wallace, one of their prized freshmen. ESPN 100, he was the number 21 player.
Boog, so many good things happen for you offensively. When you put the ball on the defense quickly and get to the elbow within the first 3 or 4, man, so many good things open up. Just like it did for Casey Wallace on that last play.
This is a super talented Kentucky team. They've got a lot of experience. Technically, everybody on their roster is eligible to come back. And they have signed the #1 recruiting class in the country for next year. So something's got to give, but these are good problems to have, right? They've signed 4 of the top 8 in the ESPN 100, including the #1 recruit, DJ Wagner.
Yeah, that was the battle, man, for the last couple of years for Kentucky to get DJ Wagner. It came down between Kentucky and their rival, Louisville. It's a Kentucky program that continues to be nationally relevant under Cal year after year after year in recruiting. That is so difficult to do.
Wallace uses the window and puts it in. Salas flips it back out. Bolton at the basket, and that's good.
You mentioned the paint points by Gonzaga in this game. They have won the paint touch game for certain.
A 42-22 advantage in the paint for Gonzaga.
Dude, that's more than just throwing the ball to Drew Timme.
Right.
That's those guards driving it and having hard cuts. If you're a coach and you're not sure what to holler at your guys, just holler, cut harder, and you won't be wrong, ever.
Wallace knocks that one down. Have you been impressed with the Gonzaga guard play here today?
I have been, because they came in averaging 17, 18 turnovers a game. They have 16 in this game, but it doesn't feel like a 16 turnover game from them.
Yeah, 38 turnovers in the last 2 coming in, so it was certainly a problem.
Now, can those guards close it out? Because Kentucky's going to come with a lot of heat defensively with 6 to go. They're going to press up. They're going to be hot hands around the basketball, and can Gonzaga just run clean offense right now to close this thing out?
Watson looking for some help. Shot clock under 10. Bolton going to work. Bolton inside. Switched hands. Bolton gets it back. Hangs. Can't hit. And Ware with the rebound. Toppin will try a 3. From the corner, and Reeves. And Strother pulls down the rebound. He's got 13 of them.
And the ones you got to make. Antonio Reeves now 1 for 7, I believe, from the three-point line in this game. And he's had 3 or 4 wide open looks.
The 1-2 punch for Gonzaga. It's been Timme and Strother as expected. 39 points and 19 rebounds combined.
This is his hot spot. Kentucky did a good job of coming with that double team low.
Fans wanted to travel. Toppin draws the contact. Jacob Toppin will go to the line. He'll shoot 2.
And Gonzaga fans wanted to walk on Casey Wallace. He didn't walk with the ball. It's only the 4th team foul on Gonzaga. It's a shooting foul, but their defense has done a pretty good job of defending without fouling in this half.
Wheeler and Sheboy getting set to check back in.
Kennel 2.0 has been really good tonight, hasn't it not?
No doubt.
Look at that scene right there.
Yeah, credit to those kids. Most of them slept out overnight, frigid temperatures.
What would you sleep out for in order to be in line?
Oh.
Is there anything right now?
Working with you, buddy.
No. So like, would it be a concert? Would it be? I can't even come up with one.
Well, I'm hearing Taylor Swift tickets are tough to get.
Tougher, just as tough as this ticket was, by the way.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
This thing sold out in like 12 minutes.
It did. I mean, a much bigger arena relative to the Kennel. Strother with a huge shot. He's got 20. And his third three. And Toppin with a pull-up of his own. Jacob Toppin has had a really nice second half.
What a hard drive down that lane line by Nolan Hickman in the throwback to Strother. Hickman, to me, has grown up in this game. Huge shoes to fill as a Gonzaga point guard. But his confidence, his body language, how he's handled the ball, his vision, to me, has gotten better as the game's gone on.
Watson will try from deep. Toppin with the ball, 10 of his 14 in the second half. And that'll go, make it 12 of his 16 since the break.
Gonzaga has to pick Toppin up earlier, because it is cash money right now for him at that 15, 16-foot pull-up jump shot. It's almost like when you have to pick up a hot three-point shooter a step or two earlier.
Hickman probing, kicks opposite to Bolton.
The hold.
And then a foul on Cason Wallace. The lead for Gonzaga is 9, 3:27 to go. Coach Calipari's Kentucky Wildcats will not go away. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball brought to you by Lowe's. It's the best place to get everything you need for the holidays. Guys, look forward to that. But first things first, we got 3:27 to go in this one. Jimmy Dykes, you look at that group for Houston, impressive. That's a really good team.
Yeah, coach is right. There's not a better backcourt in all of college basketball than the Houston Cougars. And they guard the ball angry. It's amazing how vicious they are guarding the ball, how accountable they are. And then the ball goes on the glass. The game begins for the Houston Cougars. What will they do tonight on the road is, I'll be watching that before we get on the plane heading to Nassau overnight.
Bolton knocks down to first.
Drew Timme has drawn 10 fouls in this game. He's got 22 points and 6 rebounds, but 10 fouls that he's drawn because of his game is a foulable game. The spin, the speed, the ball handling ability for a kid his size.
Wallace a little unsure, but Sheboy not. Rebound, put back. And Oscar Sheboy on the offensive glass. What else is new? Strother has had himself a really nice game. 20 points and 14 rebounds.
You know what he's done? He has won the foot race to the ball probably 9 out of 10 times that he's ran that dribble handoff action. That foot race to the ball is that's offensive.
And they call it. Timme with the offensive foul. It'll go the other way. And an opportunity for Kentucky.
Yeah, Timme just gets isolated again. You're not going to double team this action, but really good job by Toppin. He gets set knowing that Timme loves to spin. But the contact occurred before the spin. It's the right call.
And Wallace throws it away. He was looking for Antonio Reeves.
You got a young guard on the road that's trying to throw to the backside to find the backside bomb. I don't know if he felt like Reeves was supposed to slide down or slide up.
Bolton.
Yeah, can't go under.
Drains that.
Boogie can't go under. The game's on the line, man. And Roger Bolton shoots too good of a basketball to go underneath that screen. I mean, that's a mistake that you can't make.
The lead is back to 12. And Bolton with a three-pointer.
Roger Bolton now 3 out of 7 from the three-point line, but Drew Timme obviously is just a handful. So hard to guard, and his hot spot is on the left side of the lane, but his other hot spot is right down the middle third of the floor. They have focused him, Mark has, in the trailer position to get him the ball on the move a handful of times in this second half to get him aggressive going downhill. Then he picks you apart with those hard cuts, his vision to survey the play and not get rushed. That's why he's right in the hunt for the National Player of the Year again this year. Roger.
Yeah, these two will be, again, right in the mix for National Player of the Year. Sheboy won it last year. Those two became good friends over the course of the summer. These are two very good teams, talented, and certainly for Kentucky, a lot of room to grow, and Gonzaga here in Spokane has shown their mettle.
You know, we asked Drew Timme about this game this morning, talking to him. He said, well, we're going to find out a lot about ourselves with our schedule. We can't afford to drop another one.
Yeah.
And the urgency they played with in the first half is the separation point and the difference in this game right now.
Yeah, he talked about the worry of a snowball effect just because of what they have coming up. I mean, you're looking at games against Baylor. You mentioned going to Portland. Watson can't hit. Great work there as Timme is directing traffic and telling Bolton, hang on. Under 90 seconds to go in this one.
He fouled him 4 times before they called it on the 5th.
.125 to go. Roger Bolton and the Gonzaga Bulldogs trying to pick up their 3rd win of the year. Last time out, they lost in Austin, and they were thumped by Texas, 93-74.
Yeah, there's a difference between a whipping and a whooping.
Yeah.
They got a whooping. But how do you respond is the most important part of the season. And Huey's guys have responded in a beautiful fashion. That 16-point lead at halftime, the difference in this game. Kentucky just got knocked back in the first 20 minutes.
Loose ball, Hickman dives on it. It'll go possession arrow, and it belongs to the Zags. The other thing, you know, Jimmy, you look, 7 straight Sweet 16s. They've been to the NCAA tournament every year. Mark Few's been there, but scoring has always been an anchor for them. They just do it so well. And they've led the nation in scoring and scoring margin 4 straight years. And here today, 55% from the floor and getting it done.
Well, their defense was on point, but they give up 93 points to Texas. The other night, those Texas guards were on fire, shot about 64% from 3. But they got on top of Kentucky shooters. They made Oscar Tshiebwe work for everything. And they really negated the drive ability of Kentucky in this game. And Kentucky's inability to stop the drive has been a major, major story in this league.
Watson got the step. He had a really nice day today. Tshiebwe with the air ball. And Timme waving to the crowd saying, let me hear you.
Drew Timme is now going to be 93-8 in a Gonzaga uniform. That's a guy that expects to win, and there's a record crowd to see it.
And that's to see any event, concert, rodeo, hockey, basketball, whatever. And the exclamation point there. Roger Bolton knocks it down. And how about Bolton finishes with 24 as that one rattles in. Well, they hadn't played here at Spokane Arena since 2014. They needed a win, and they got it.
Can't dig a hole if you're Kentucky. It's a 16-point deficit at halftime. You look up, it's a 16-point game at the end. So impressed with Gonzaga. Their speed, I think, caught Kentucky by surprise tonight. How fast they played offensively, how clean they played, and of course, Drew Timme is a difference maker, as hard to guard as anybody in the college game.
Well, next year it'll be in Lexington. Today, the first of a 6-game series between these two programs. Again, our final score, Gonzaga 88, Kentucky 72. For Jimmy Dykes and our entire outstanding crew, I'm John Sciambi. So long from Spokane. Now we send it out to Roxy Bernstein and Robbie Hummel.